And
This
developers,
conference will now be recorded.
you take any application. In any application, you find number of text boxes, right? And for every text box, developer will be defining some boundary conditions according to client given business requirements. And when writing a program for such kind of boundary values, you'll be using some kind of comparison operators like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, right? You may use some kind of conditions, condition based. So there are some chances to commit some mistakes. You may not specify right less than or greater than correctly. Maybe it's a programmer, there are some mistakes will be done by the programmer. So as a tester, what is our responsible is we need to identify every text box is going according to the boundary conditions given by the client or not. And we need to ensure that whether developer has developed it according to the customer given conditions, boundary conditions or not. So for that, it will be useful. Boundary value analysis will be useful for it. And here you have to follow one notation for that. So that don't go beyond this notation. If you go within this notation, we can overcome that exhaustive testing. Otherwise, if you go with exhaustive testing, we don't know when we are going to end your test case and when you are going to end your testing also. Like see, minimum data. When you are passing minimum data, pass means system should accept. When you give maximum data also, system should accept. That means minimum data, maximum data is given according to customer. And we need to ensure it's going according to customer given conditions or not, right? See, if you give less than minimum minus one, minimum minus one, fail. Fail means it should not accept this data. When we pass maximum minus one, maximum is allowed, but maximum one is not. Maximum minus one is also allowed. Minimum plus one is allowed. Maximum plus one is not allowed. That means every application should not go more than maximum data and should not be less than minimum data. See that very clearly it is defined. Otherwise, we need to concentrate on exhaustive testing again. We have to go on testing all the conditions again. So how it is possible? How you overcome these boundary conditions? For example, I'm taking one simple example, login functionality. Login functionality. Now, in this login functionality, you may have username text box and password text box. And let me take conditions for username. Username conditions. These conditions are given by the client. Allows alpha numeric from 4 to 20 characters in lower and upper cases. Okay, that's my condition for username. Lowercase means small letters, uppercase means capitals. When I talk about password conditions, allows alphabets from 4 to 10 characters in lower cases. These are my conditions here. Now, based on these conditions, how do you prepare boundary values? So we need to prepare BVA and EC for this. EC means equivalence class or equivalence partition. EC or EP both are same, right? Now we need to prepare both BV and boundary values. Now you know the conditions for boundary values, right? So look at first, let us prepare for username. Username with valid data. First, we have to prepare with valid data for username. Look at the conditions there. It allows 4 to 20 characters in lowercase and uppercases. Combination should be alphanumeric combination. So as we discussed right now, the conditions here, see, minimum is allowed, maximum is allowed, maximum minus 1 is allowed, minimum plus 1 is allowed. So now we have to prepare a data for all these valid conditions, right? So minimum, how many minimum characters here is 4 characters. 4 means we have to prepare that combination. What combination? Alphanumeric combination. So try to prepare one data. RIT 3 1. Lowercase, uppercase also, right? RIT, uppercase, lowercase plus numeric combination. 4 letters. Yes or no? 4 letters. Next, maximum. Maximum, how many characters we have? 20 characters. So prepare that data. We have to prepare data. While executing, we'll copy this data. We can't remember the data. So that we are preparing that combination. So developer also will develop, but we don't know whether he developed according to that conditions or not. So I can say Rita, Meta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can give any combination. Ranga, Aki. You have to count 20 characters. It will mean 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 characters we have to prepare. So this test data, this is called test data here. This is called inputs, where we input this into username text box once we get build from developer. Okay, so you get ready with the data. Okay, next, what is next valid here? Minimum plus 1. Minimum plus 1 is valid, right? So 4 plus 1, how many characters we have? 5 characters. So 5 characters. So you prepare with 5 characters. 3, 4, 5. All combinations we met us. That's what very important is. We have to look at the combination. It should start with alphabet. That's a customer condition. Alpha numeric means it should start with alphabet. Next, maximum minus 1. Maximum minus 1 is also valid. So how many? 20 minus 1? 19 characters. So we have to prepare again with 20 characters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you are able to meet 19 characters. Anything, you can prepare any data, not an issue here. But we have to meet that combination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Again, while executing, we don't want to come and count the data. We'll simply copy this data and we'll input to your application and we'll verify it. Okay, na?
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. Hello.
Who is that? Yeah, tell me.
Sir, in minimum plus 1, Akil, it should be a combination of alphanumeric, but we have, you mentioned only Akil, sir. There is no numeric. Is it allowed, sir?
What is 1? 1. What is 1 here?
I thought that as Akil,
No,
L, sir.
Not
Okay.
L, ma. It is 1.
Oh.
1. Okay. So there is any other valid data required? Any validation? No, check that. Any other validation combination you want to prepare? Or is it okay?
Okay, sir.
All of you. Another combination? No, right? We met all the combination. Valid combination. The same way we have to prepare username with invalid data. So where you prepare all this in real time at Excel. Once we go to test case preparation, we have to fit with this data compulsory. Look at that. What is invalid? Anybody? What is invalid for this username text box? Tell the combination. Minimum.
Minimum
Minimum
less
minus
than 3,
Minimum minus 1
less
is
than
invalid.
4,
Yeah, minimum
less
minus
than
1.
4
Next.
invalid,
maximum plus 1.
maximum plus 1.
So minimum minus 1 is equal to 3. So prepare any one. 3 A, B, C, something. Enough. Next, maximum plus 1. So 21 characters. So we have to prepare the 21 characters. You can prepare the 21 characters here. No problem. Next, blank. Blank in the sense null. Leaving that field empty is not allowed. Next, special characters. As per that conditions we are preparing. We're preparing as per that condition because they said, you see, did they say any special characters here? No. So if you prepare anything, a key at the rate 1, 2, 3 is not allowed. Only one character enough. No need of going with all characters. Next, invalid. Invalid. Invalid characters. So what are invalid characters here is 1, 2, 3, so and so. Because as per that combination, alphabet should be starting letters. Right? It should not start with numeric. So we don't know. We have to ensure it. So these are invalid data for username, valid data for like that. By looking at documentation in SRS, they'll specify very clearly. Accordingly, we need to prepare them. Next one is password. Password with valid data. Password, look at the combination of password. It allows alphabets from 4 to 10 characters in lower cases. So minimum is valid. Minimum 4 characters valid, but that in lower case only. Okay, I can say RANGA, RANG. That's it. No characters allowed here. Next, maximum is maximum 10 characters. Only lowercase it allows. Testing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, minimum plus 1. Minimum plus 1 is also valid. So minimum plus 1 is 5 characters. So you can prepare 5 group. Test 1, 4, one more T. 5 characters. Next, maximum minus 1 is also valid. So 9 characters. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Prepare any data. There's no, we don't expect any original data from the client. We don't get any original data. Okay. These are the valid combination for password. And if you look for password with invalid characters. So when you go with password invalid characters, so here we have to again minimum minus 1, 3 characters. So TS not allowed. Next, maximum plus 1, 11 characters. So you prepare that 11 characters here. Next, numerics. Numerics is also not allowed. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Next, blank. When you say null, not allowed. And also special characters. It's not allowed any special character, not allowed. As per customer. Okay. So we can take any of the special characters, so and so. Like that. So boundary values, BVA, ECP is very useful for preparing your test data. This is one of the very good technique to design a test case along with test data. Test data means inputs. Now you got clarity. Test data means nothing but inputs. What are the inputs? We need to enter. We need to check with that inputs accordingly. Okay, guys. So that way we are moving into this particular boundary value analysis. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So again, once we come back to our test cases, again we'll proceed with this. How to check with the test data, how to prepare with test data, and all that one by one. Okay, na? And third technique, what we have is decision table. This is also one of the very good technique. To prepare a test case by looking at decision tables. So it will be useful to derive test case to validate a functionality if it is depending on multiple inputs. Based on that inputs, we are going to input here. See that combinations I have taken for login. For example, I have taken for login. So here I am taking inputs. What are inputs required for login here? One is called username. And one more input what required is password. And one more here we are expected. Expected means outcome. And for this login, we are going to check with the multiple conditions. So I can check with the one condition or rule one also we can say, condition one also we can say. Condition one, condition two, condition three. I am taking condition four. Up to 4 conditions we can check. We can check with 4 conditions. So decision tables are prepared by developer, none of our business. But by looking at table, it's very easy to design test cases. Now see, conditions here, true means valid, false means invalid. True means valid, false means invalid. So when I give true means when I give valid username, when I give valid password, when I give valid username and valid password, expected is what is that expected we get here is true. True means what? What is that meaning true? You should be able to see Gmail inbox page, for example. Second condition, I am giving true, valid username, but I am giving invalid password. False. So what is the condition here? It will be false. False means you should not accept the data. Condition 3, when I give false, when I provide false here, and when I give true means valid username, output also should be false. And when I give both conditions false, both are invalid. Username is invalid. Username is invalid as well as password is also invalid. When both are false, output also will be false. So this test data, this combinations are prepared by developer. By looking this, how you write test case. By looking this decision table, how you write a test case. See that condition, according to conditions, we have tried. See how many conditions we have. We have tried that many steps. Okay, how many conditions here we have? Based on that conditions, we have tried the steps, test case steps. So let me write. First, I can take first column as serial number. Step number, I can say serial number. And here, second column, I can say description. And third column, I can say expected. So we have to write our English. That's it. Number one, description. How you write description steps means by looking these conditions. By looking this condition. How you write expected means by looking this expected. So what are the conditions here? Number one, enter valid username. Number two, enter valid password. Number three, generally what we do, click on login. So we're writing conditions. According that conditions are preparing a test case. And what is the expectation here? Look at that's expected here. My expectation is what? System should display inbox page. No, system should display inbox page. When user is trying to click on, when he's giving valid username and valid password. As per second condition, true, false. So that second condition. So that we can go with second step. Second step. As per that. Number two, serial number two. Look at the conditions of second condition here. True, false. Output also false. So what do you say here? Number one, enter valid username, enter invalid password. So what are you expecting? System should display error message. System should display error message. Okay, na? That's the second condition. Third condition. You are giving invalid username and you are giving valid password. Okay. So when you do that, again, so we are writing test case according to the conditions given. That's it. Again, we can say enter invalid username. That is number one. Number two, enter valid password. Number three, click on login. So what you're expecting here, when you do that, again you're expecting same error message. So we are getting these outputs or not, we don't know. We are preparing it. Once we get a build from developer, we are going to execute against that build. And last condition, what that last condition here? Both are false. When both are false, what happened? Fourth step. So how many conditions here we have? We have to prepare with that many condition steps. That's it. When both are invalid, username is invalid, password is also invalid, then again we're expecting alert message. Here we are focusing more on negative things, right? Yes, 100%. That's what I told you. Positive combination will be single combination. We cannot go beyond one combination. But negative combinations we can test differently. So that's what I'm trying to say. So decision table is useful to derive the test case to validate functionality depending upon multiple inputs. When you have multiple inputs to be tested in your application, then we have to go like what I written the test case also already written there in Excel, right? That's what the number of test case we can prepare to check functionality. If it is depending on multiple inputs is 2 power n. Depending on multiple inputs 2 power n, where n is number of inputs. Every time every case we need to cover all the test cases. So we reduce test case based on system design. So we are supposed to reduce the test case designing part. So based on that, we are supposed to prepare the test case accordingly. So that is the main purpose of boundary value analysis as well as decision table. Is it clear to all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, coming to next statement, next technique is state transition testing. So what is state transition testing? You might have seen number of applications. Every software applications, any application you take, interfaces are very important to customers. Interfaces. We always communicate to application with interfaces only, right? So every software applications will have various states called user interfaces. The states of the application will change from one state to another state based on the operations we perform and based on the inputs data we supply. 100%. If you take any application, it go on changing. Interfaces will change. Screens will keep on changing, right? It won't be constant. They keep on changing based on the operations we perform, based on the inputs we supply to your application. When I enter username and password to my application, interface will change. It goes to one more page. Interface means next page. Screen, next screen will be displayed. If you take a mobile also, it depends on the way you are using mobile operation. Based on that operation, your screen will keep on changing. 100%. It all depends on the operations you are performing on it, and it all depends on the data you are supplying to that application. So in order to check all this possible navigation of application under test, so this testing, this transition testing will be very useful. Just I have taken a simple example called ATM. You see this ATM application. User inserting code in wrong direction. Assume that. Excuse me. Assume that your user is inserting your code in wrong direction. Wrong direction means is not giving a right direction. Excuse me, guys. In that situations, 100% we get one message. It's taking to one interface and it's giving one interface message to us. Error message, 100%. Next, second way is inserting code in right way. Is inserting code in right way. When you're inserting code in right way, it will be asking for PIN number. It will be asking for PIN number. It will ask you to enter PIN number. Right? First try, you are giving valid PIN number. Should be able to access your account. In first try, you are given invalid password. Assume that. Then you'll try for second try, right? In second try, again you are given valid password. It is able to access your account. In second try, you are given wrong password. In third try, you are given valid password. You should be able to access your account. Again in third try, you are given invalid password. What will happen? Your card will block. That means, is it navigating to these transactions or not? This ATM application, is it, see, developer will develop this way, and we are also checking the same way. He's developing internally and we are checking externally here. You should keep on navigating to the respective screens based on the operations you are performing in the application. So by looking this diagram, I written simple steps for that. By looking the diagram, I written simple steps. What is that? Insert valid card and enter correct PIN number at first try. Yes, you should access your account. Insert valid card, enter incorrect PIN number at first try and correct PIN number at second try. You should be able to access your account. Third step, insert valid card, insert incorrect PIN number at second try and correct PIN number third try. Still you're able to access. After third try, your card will be blocked. Go and check that whether your card is again, insert card again, check it out. Is it blocked or not? Go and check your card by inserting your card in wrong direction. Is giving that error message or not? So these transactions are nothing but ensuring that is it navigating to respective place. That means the navigation flow is working correctly or not. In that cases, we go for state transition testing point of view. So this is also one of the technique, but not that important. Boundary values are important. EC or EPs both are important. Okay, na? And anyway, use case testing, as I told you, this is very important. Next, once we go to test case preparation, we go on. What is use case means? Majority of the test case we prepared based on use cases here. What is that use case? It's a brief description. It is describing very clearly a actor's actions. Actor, who is that actor? Application user. When he's acting on the application, when he's working on the application as a user, it's explaining us how it is going to respond. And if you develop test case to check does applications developed as per use case or not is called use case testing. So every test case is developed based on what? Use cases. Test data we prepare based on boundary values based on the EC or EP. So how use case diagrams, everything once we go into the test case preparation will come into that. Don't worry. Okay guys. So that is one more of use case testing we do. Okay. And as I told you, gray box testing. Gray box nowadays not possible. Gray box testing means what? It's a combination of both white box testing and black box testing. So testing conducted by combining both structural and non-structural component to validate specific scenario in a system is called as gray box testing. So it is a combination of white box and black box. So that means we require both knowledge here, development knowledge, database knowledge. When you do other than manual, both combination, then you'll become a gray box tester. But nowadays it is highly impossible. One fellow, if you put a pressure on one fellow, it's very difficult to overcome the problem. So we want, because as we are going with fast development, we cannot maintain, we can't ensure quality when it give a pressure on one fellow on that. Okay. Is it clear to all of you guys? So these are the techniques we have for designing your test cases. Basically, when you want design your test cases in such a way, these techniques will be useful. Again, once we come to test case preparation class, I'll explain you clearly how they're applicable against application also. Am I clear to all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Now let's coming to still let people to join today, Friday weekend. Okay. Right. Now coming to software testing life cycle, STLC. What is STLC here? Generally, okay, at least what is SDLC? Anybody? What is SDLC?
Software development life cycle.
Development life cycle.
Software development life cycle. I know abbreviation.
Like how we develop the software in a standard manner, like how we follow the steps to develop the software is nothing but SDLC.
So when they're asking you abbreviations, don't tell abbreviations here. This is what we are having a problem with interview. All through that you're going to interview to tell abbreviations to interviewer. Yes, when what is it? They don't ask you. Interviewers will not have that patience, right? What is meant by software developmental lives? Simple. What is SDLC? They'll say you. It's nothing but it's one of the process for developing a software. It's one of the process for developing a software. Based on that, we are choosing SDLC according to the project business point of view. But what is SDLC? Abbreviation is software testing life cycle. But what is that SDLC means? It is purely tester's life cycle. We don't allow anyone to enter into this process. It is purely your life cycle. When you enter a company with 4 plus or 3 plus or 2 plus or fresher or any experience, most of us we have to work on SDLC. Our role is SDLC role, no other role we have. SDLCs, agile process, black box techniques, white box techniques, user act. These are all the techniques. Just we are getting awareness. Why we use those techniques and how to implement those techniques. That is only for awareness we use. But SDLC, no awareness. It's purely testers life cycle. The question is, when SDLC will come into picturization in any software company? In SDLC class we discussed, I think, already. Anyway, again,
As
I
soon
told
as
you.
the application starts developing, the SDLC
Hmm,
comes into picture.
yeah, that means in any company, any organization, as per it depends upon the SDLC, except waterfalls and V model. Waterfalls and V model generally we testing will be done in the end phase because it's a sequence life cycle. Whereas in incremental models, whereas in agile process, it's not end process, right? Testing and development should be done parallelly, compulsory. So as soon as SRS is approved in the organization, testing process will come into picturation, because we have to design test cases, we have to prepare a test plan, we have to review the test cases, and we should get rid of the test data. So we should get ready with all the test cases before we get a build from developer. Before we get a build for testing, you must get ready with all the test cases. All your test case should be reviewed. All your test case should be approved by your team lead or manager or some client. Okay. So SDLC in any company, there are two types of documentations are prepared in SDLC. Basically, two types of documentations. Number one, we call it as company level documentation. Number two, project level documentations. Company level documentation, project level documentation. What are company level documentations? Here we have company level documentations are the documentations which are prepared by topmost management, by your managers, pure managers. Company level documentation is not only for one fellow, it's for everybody. They will plan first for us. They need to plan for them. They know very well. They're good experienced people than anybody, managers, right? A project level documentations are prepared by your team lead, and even sometimes testing team also involved in that project level documentation. You're assigned with one leader and is concerned to that project only. That's what. So, what are the stages we have in SDLC? Look at that. These are the stages we follow in SDLC also. Okay. So, first stage, project or project manager or test manager also we call project manager or test manager. His stage is test planning, and what is his responsibility here? Is going to prepare test strategy documentation, and also is going to prepare test plan documentation for us. It may be involved by your leaders also. And next, see, remaining documentations are purely testers life cycle. It's your own document. See, once the test plan is ready in the organization, then immediately test engineers analyze them, go through BRS, go through SRS, go and study the documentation, understand in terms of customer business point of view, understand them in all aspects. And then next we go for test design. Test design is for what? Not HLD, LLD. Remember, that is in SDLC. Okay, no, come out of it. Test design means what? Whatever requirements assigned to you, identify the scenarios, prepare test scenarios for your project, and based on that scenarios, go and prepare test cases and test data. As I told you just today, test data, BVA boundary values, and traceability matrix also prepared by your team lead. Traceability matrix is prepared by your team lead. And once we are ready with the test cases, and once after completion of developing software from developer will be sending one executable application, and you guys have to start execution, test execution. Here, during execution, what you're doing? You're executing the test cases. During execution of your test cases, 100% you may come across some bugs. You track them, and we have to keep on reporting that bugs to development team. And once developers are fixing that bugs, you go and retest it. And finally, last end stage, after completion of your testing, again your test manager or project manager will come into picturization, and they're going to prepare a test closure documentation. Closure means what? Signing the project. And before going to sign up, they're going to prepare summary report for the entire project. I mean, for that entire version, what you have been tested from starting test case preparation to test execution. Okay, so these are the life cycles we have in SDLC also. It's purely testers life cycle. We don't allow any developer to involve over here. Let us see one by one phase. Here, see, test planning. As per that's that. Yes, as I said already in the initial class, I told you, stakeholders have to decide whether testing team is required or not, whether development team is required or not. It all depends on the project, it all depends on the company, it all depends upon the SDLC process we follow. They'll choose. Planning is important. So once one project got scheduled for testing, yes, they said we have to go for testing. Then your manager, your project manager or test manager will define test strategy documentation. Based on that strategy documentation, your team lead will prepare a test plan document. High level, these are not that important for us, but high level, they are high level. It can be given one copy to everybody. They're not planning not only for testers, they're planning for entire team, developer, everybody. But before going to prepare test strategy documentation by your manager, there is one more documentation we call test policy document. What is this test policy here? When you enter a company, when you join as a tester or anybody who are software employee, first of all, you should know the policy of your company. That is very important. Policies of the project, not company, the project policies. Every client will have their own standards. Every client will follow some standards. You should know what standards they are following for that project. In terms of metrics, in terms of IEEE formats, in terms of ISO standards, in terms of Six Sigma life cycle. Lot of standards we have in the market. What standards they are following for that project, we don't know. And who is giving that guidelines to us is quality controller, QC. We call him QC, quality controller. This fellow is not 1+, 2+ experience, having some past experience. And this fellow will guide us what policies we are following for our project. What is policy or generally meaning of policy? Suppose if you say in general LIC policy. Why you are applying that LIC policy? That policy is having some rules and regulations. Terms and conditions are there for that policy. Why you want to go that policy means, yes, after 10 years, I want 10 lakhs lump sum of amount. After 10 years. If I want 10 lakhs after 10 years, then you go with this policy. Means you have to follow rules and regulations of this policy. Then you can achieve your target after 10 years. So everything that means here compulsory you have to follow for 10 years. You have to follow the terms and conditions. You cannot violate the rules. Investing 2 years and saying I want 10 lakhs means nobody will give you. Policy, that's a policy. We have rules, we have terms and conditions. Everyone should follow that. The same way, your quality controller also is defining you the policies, the standards what we are following for your project testing and project development and all that. So I can simply say test policy is a company level documentation which explains how testing should be carried out in your organization. This test policy, aim of this document is what? Testing objectives to be achieved. He'll define testing objectives. Yes, these are my objectives. These are the policies. These are the standards we are following. Every tester, every developer must and should follow them. Then after completion of test policy only, then your manager he should also know that, right? Strategy manager should also know. Policy means, Indian policy, Indian politics, like Indian politics, policy means Supreme Court. Everyone should go according to Supreme Court, all the states of the country. Strategy means Parliament. The same way, test strategy. Before I prepare a plan, before I go on preparing a plan, I should know the policies. Then only I can give a very good, interesting plan, and very output plan will be in such a way we should get outputs also at the same time. So here, test strategy is prepared by whom? Test strategy is prepared by your manager, test manager or QA manager. People call project manager. Different managers will be there. What is his aim? What he has to define, you guys? Test strategy document defines or describes testing approaches to achieve testing objectives. Testing approaches to achieve testing objectives. 100%. He said objectives. Who said objectives? Your manager said objectives. Yes or no? Your quality control said objectives. But to achieve that objectives, what we should do? We should follow some approaches. Approaches means what here? What is approach? Techniques. We discussed lot of techniques, right? In black box. Huh? Now they'll define. Among the techniques, which techniques we have to implement to achieve our objectives. Yes, manager will say, testers, go with this objective. Go with these approaches. So that you can achieve that objectives. Now you applied for one policy, LIC policy. What you do now? Today, by applying today itself, by after 10 years you get a 10 lakhs? No. You maintain that strategy. What that strategy we have to maintain? Every month you have to keep on paying that amount. What are the policy amount you have taken? Then only we can achieve that objective. What is your objective? 10 lakhs. When? After 10 years. Then how to achieve the 10 lakhs objective means? Then you have to follow some strategy here. The same way, you want to achieve my customer business requirements. Then follow some approaches to achieve that. Use these techniques, functional testing, regression testing, usability testing, that testing, this testing. They'll explain you very clearly. Why do you worry? They're giving a strategic plan for you. According to that plan, if you test that project, we can achieve the targets very easily and we can achieve the objectives very easily also at the same time. So that is what happens. This test policy and test strategy are both are company level documentations here. They're giving you a very good plan. They're not 1+ or 2+ or fake experienced fellows. Remember, they're very good experienced fellows. Based on the past experience, they can define the documentation. In real time, we find them in MS Word, 4 or 5 pages. Ask your leader, he will send you all this kind of documentations, don't worry. Go with them. Before you start testing any project, you go and study the documentation. Try to understand them. Try to understand your company policies first of all. Try to understand the strategies given by your manager. And make sure that your awareness with the techniques are not. So this is what happens. Testing means not simply coming and writing test case here. Okay, we have our own process. We have our own strategies. We have our own metrics, standards, policies. Then only we're able to achieve our targets very easily. So that is what happens during this both high level documentation called test policy and test strategy documentation. But now from next we have to prepare test plan. This is from here. It is your complete testers involvement also required here. And here we'll start our next week. We'll start our practical approach also. And one more thing I'm requesting all of you guys. Today, what I'm doing is I'm sending you one FRS documentation. All of you must study this FRS documentation before we start writing test cases. 4 days back I'm sending you, 4 days before I'm sending you.
Sir, yesterday's video was also not uploaded, sir.
Yesterday's video?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I mean, you can. Why can't you communicate to Narendra or Venkat? They are uploading videos here. Videos are not with me. Okay. Anyway, I'll convey them. I'll convey your message. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir.
I'll convey them. I'll
Okay, sir.
convey them.
Thank you, sir.
See that. Yeah. This is a FRS documentation I'm sending you guys. We are going to work on one project, Primus Bank. As I said in the initial class, I'll be giving you one project. We are going to work on this, all of us. So we study this first. Go through it. In real time also. They'll send you FRS. They'll give sufficient time to understand it. Go through it. Understand this documentation. Understand this documentation. Understand the flow of this project. Understand the modules we have in this project. Understand, see, we give all diagrams, use case diagrams. Use cases are given very clearly. Okay? And the prototypes, screens also very clearly given here. Screens also given very clearly. Try to understand. See that elements, page elements and elements means the objects. What are objects we require in the application also we define very clearly. Task flow diagrams. Everything defined very clearly to you. So what you do, try to understand the flow of this project. Then it will be easy for you to design test cases here. There's nothing in manual. If you understand FRS correctly on the current project, you can survive manual testing very easily here. No doubt about it. No other logics required here. Okay, guys? 2 days time you have. Please study that. All of you study and come. Monday we'll start our remaining test plan. I'll show how to prepare test plan. Then based on that, how to prepare scenarios, and based on that, how to prepare test cases. We'll write them in Excel first, and then we'll write them in Jira also. We'll work out in Jira, and one by one. Okay? Okay, guys? Okay? See you on Monday. See you on Monday. Bye bye. But be careful. Be careful. Don't go away. Don't go away for functional and all that. Be careful, all of you. Okay, see you on Monday. Bye bye.